In the quiet mountain village of heartbreaks, where mist rolled down the pine slopes and the waves of the East Sea hummed against black rocks, there lived a girl named Seori, the younger twin of Namhae. Seori's hair was born of the wind, wild, curly, and untamed, unlike her sister's straight, silken strands that gleamed like the calm surface of the village pond. Their grandmother often said that heaven had tied a secret knot into Seori's hair, one that would only unravel when her heart found its true place. When Seori was 5, she first confessed her love to her cousin at a gravesite during a family ancestral ritual. The adults laughed and called it innocent folly, but she remembered how earnestly she had meant it. The second confession came years later, in her 3rd year of village school. The boy promised to like her back, but his family moved away the next day. From then, her life seemed as tangled as the curls she brushed every morning by the clay mirror. When she grew older, she fell for the boy next door, but one afternoon, she saw him walking away holding her sister's hand. That day, Seori swore never to confess her heart again. At home, the twins bickered constantly over small things, the only radio their father owned, or who would help mother stir the soybean paste. The villagers always compared them. Hairi is calm and graceful, they would say, but Seori, she's all thunder and wind. Still, Seori had her circle, her mischievous friends, Solwa and Daewon, who worked with her at the village schoolhouse and spent their free hours chasing dragonflies near the paddies. And among their classmates was Kim Hyan, the headman's son, clever and charming, the pride of heartbreaks. One summer's day, Seori met him by chance at the cove where she always went to swim in secret. He had come to fish but ended up swimming alongside her. From that day, his name never left her mind. Then came Han Yunsik, a quiet stranger from the capital, who arrived in the village with a limp and a face pale as porcelain. The teacher said he had come to rest by the sea. The moment Seori saw him, she froze. He was the boy she had pulled from the waves weeks earlier when the storm nearly claimed him. The two grew closer. Seori often helped him climb the narrow paths or carry bundles to the old thatched house he shared with his widowed mother, Madame Han, who had recently opened a small herbal hair shop near the market. Rumors spread that her tonics could make even the most stubborn hair straight as silk. One evening, after a heavy rain, Seori found Yunsik struggling to carry his soaked belongings. She pulled him into her father's old shed, lent him a dry robe, and showed him her hidden treasures, old story scrolls, shells, and a corner where she kept folded paper cranes. Each one, she said shyly, holds a wish that might come true someday. She gave him the secret mark to the shed door, 4-leaf crane, and told him never to tell anyone, especially mischievous Beak Sungray, the school troublemaker. The next month, the village prepared for the Lantern Festival. Every year, the young women folded cranes to hang on their chosen boys' lanterns. Seori began hers, 1,000 paper cranes, each holding her love for Kim Hyan. Her friends teased her endlessly, while Yunsik sat beside her, pretending not to care. But she noticed how his hands lingered when passing her the string, how his eyes softened whenever she laughed. In class, when Seori tried to move her seat closer to Kim Hyan, the top student mocked her. A girl with hair like a tangled bush, he sneered. Shouldn't dream so high. Seori ran out, tears burning her cheeks, until Yunsik quietly followed, placing his jacket over her shoulders. When the village held a mock exam, Yunsik surprised everyone by finishing first, just so Seori could attend the special night lessons near Kim Hyan. But the whispers soon began. Stories of how Yunsik's father in the capital had driven him to illness with his harshness, and how the boy had fled to heartbreaks for peace. That evening, Seori's father invited Yunsik to dinner, praising his diligence. The family laughed together, and for the first time in a long while, Yunsik felt the warmth of belonging. As the festival drew near, Seori begged Madame Han to give her the straight hair elixir. The woman agreed, on one condition, that Seori continue to care for her son until he was fully healed. Seori accepted, glowing with excitement. But when the day came, Yunsik accidentally mixed the wrong herbs into the potion, and Seori's hair turned into a wild tangle of smoke. Madame Han scolded him harshly. That night, Yunsik left home and didn't return for days. When he did, Sira had finally received the real treatment. Her hair now long, dark, and sleek. The whole village gasped when she walked through the market. Even her father joked, "Now she looks like the queen of the lotus pond." During the lantern festival, Sira looked radiant beneath the moonlight. She approached Kim Hyan, holding her lantern and her 1,000 cranes. But as she raised it, her hands trembled. From across the crowd, Yunsik watched her, his lantern unlit, eyes heavy with quiet sorrow. Later that night, Sira found him by the sea, repairing his broken lantern. He smiled faintly and handed her a jar filled with his own paper cranes. "Each one," he said, "is for the times I thought of you." She didn't answer, but her heart beat painfully in her chest. Days later, Yunsik left the village without goodbye. His mother fell ill, and the house closed its doors. Sira waited, writing him letters she never sent. When she finally gave up, she tossed one into the tide. Years passed. The sisters grew, the cranes yellowed, and the village children became adults. One spring, while walking along the same beach, Sira, now teaching swimming to local children, saw a familiar figure by the shore. Yunsik stood there, a man now, still holding the same jar of folded cranes. "I made one each time I thought of you," he said again, smiling. The tide rolled over their feet as they laughed, and the wind tangled her hair. This time, she didn't try to smooth it. And in Hedongri, the villagers began whispering about the girl whose hair once defied heaven's order, until love, patient and true, finally untied its knot.